When I'm waiting on the phone, I wanted to do something about waiting on the phone. I have a whole load of stories I've already made up. If someone doesn't pick up a phone, I realise that I have ready-made solutions as to why they aren't picking up. That come into operate. I begin telling myself the story of why they're not picking up, and these stories are totally fully formed. It's almost like they're premonitions of what's going to happen. And I wanted to write something about that, about these fully formed stories that come into my mind all the time.
She leans down and picks up the receiver. She picks up the receiver.
Memories basically shape how we are, basically, and what we expect. So the way how we make memories and store memories is kind of fundamental to the issue of waiting as well. And so therefore my work had maybe a unique view on the issue of waiting.
What was fantastic about the collaboration was that we were both actively considering what waiting is in real time there and then, based on our different experiences and our different ideas about what that might consist of. And he was remarkably open.
Everything that happens was always going to happen the way it is happening now.
Everyone talks about the voice in their head telling them, monitoring how they're thinking, monitoring how they're behaving. And it sometimes feels that there is a narrator, a narrative voice that comes on and tells you that you're waiting. And that shift between actively engaged with things and reflecting on things, it's a bit like the shift between an actor and a narrator. And that was sort of my starting point for it.
The narrator tells you kind of what is currently happening, what you can expect, but then there's also your emotions, which are independent of the narrator. And so we try to understand how all of these different brain aspects come together while one is waiting.
He said it's a way of fixing a flag into the future and going, I'm now fixing a relationship with a notional point in the future, and this distance between me and that flag is now a story that I tell myself that is what's going to happen in the future. The waiting is that story.
From my perspective as a scientist, I think the interaction with artists can be very stimulating, and even direct research, I think. So if I would have more interactions with artists, that would shape my memory research more even.